Sometimes less is really more. In my earlier arrangements, I was going full arpeggio, full everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a very special video here on the Melodies on Piano channel. Back in 2018, before many of you even knew this channel existed, I had the pleasure of meeting in person two of the biggest anime piano YouTubers of the past decade, Animenz and Theishter. They are professional pianists, and what's more, Animenz is classically trained and even live streamed his graduation recital. So, in this video, you'll be seeing both of them react to and analyze one of my piano arrangements, which I got to perform live at their masterclass. Although, not gonna lie, I didn't really practice for this until the day before, because school exams, you know how it is. So it's not exactly a great performance, but there were some insightful moments, as well as some downright funny moments during this video. So whether you play piano or not, I hope you can all enjoy this video.
So this is encouraged. This is very, very good. Here we go. First question, is this your own arrangement?
Yes.
Very good. Really, just one were very good.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Literally everything I would love to add is covered. So additional melodies, good contrast variations, good balance. Well, if I want to go to details, there can still be some stuff to improve, but your level is really, really good already. It's really, the music lives, right? And I can see all your ideas here, just bringing the runs here and something omitting here and putting the rhythms in. Yeah, it's really good. I'm really
It's no surprise that your YouTube page is growing, because it is really impressive. Like the arrangements are exciting. You have your own style. I guess if we're gonna give advice, we just have to gonna nitpick.
Yes. Now it's really nitpicking territory too.
Because most of it is.
Yeah, the basic is absolutely great. I have really nothing to add. Really. So it's kind of, there's usually this kind of awkward silence when someone's playing so good. It's like, damn, what do we have to add now? It's like it's just as good as it is. Yes. I mean,
it's our job to give advice. We can't give advice.
Well, technically, if there's one last thing I might advise you, maybe still a little bit more contrast of the different parts. For example, I still remember the final part after the final chorus. There's some small bridge part, right? And maybe you can choose one of the segments to be completely with less movements. The moment of silence, moment of breathing pause, maybe like this. I'm missing this actually. So any kind of really real contrast in the music comes to a point where you need to grab the attention again. Sure, if everything's moving, it's really good. But how to grab the attention of people if everything's moving, you need to stop, right? Yeah. So think of the contrary. Think of the opposite. And if you add, for example, I would play the third chorus or at least some of the bridge parts. One part maybe. And then you can go for it. So building up the music, building up the tension, and everyone who knows the music, we're waiting for that chorus again, but you can build up the tension for the chorus just by slightly utilizing less. I've learned this in the past 4 years, to be honest, or past 2 years. Sometimes less is really more. In my earlier arrangements, I was going full arpeggio, full everything. But now I think, some of them might be a little bit too technical, and we really need a moment to understand what's happening in the music. So we need the moment of silence or the moment of pause, breathing pause. It's like singing. If you're singing, you also always need to know where your cue is to take a breath. A piano doesn't need it. We can play infinitely, always. We can play everything because we don't need that break. If you ever played with a violin player, violin players sometimes they need to change the bow length and stuff, so they need to somehow time a little bit. There's always a little bit of breathing pause or phrasing, Phrasierung in German. Put some, it's like you're playing sentences, and sentences need a period sometimes, or a comma, or a Doppelpunkt. What's a Doppelpunkt called again in English?
A colon?
A colon, yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm bad at English. So imagine if you're playing the piano, it's like you're turning sentences the whole time, and occasionally you really need that period or the comma. Yeah. Same for when I was practicing playing the piano with a singer. I was surprised, like, why are you taking so long time? Oh, she needs a breath here. So this kind of moment is very important also for the pianist, because we don't have these needs for taking a breath, but we still need to incorporate them because it makes the music feel more organic. Yeah. Same goes for the flute. I play with flute together, violin together with singer. They all need a time. It's just a pianist which can go on like a machine. But in order to avoid being like a machine, but more being like an emotional pianist, you need this kind of pause. And this is the only step you're missing in your arrangement. Everything else is absolutely fine. This is super high tier nitpicking, so it's just my personal opinion. How about you?
Don't get me wrong, I really love your arrangement, and if this advice would be really nitpicky, like I'm trying to find something to comment about, is that your performance is totally fine. I think it's great. So I think some of the parts has really bass heavy, which is great. I love bass, that hammer. But I feel like sometimes it gets a little muddy, especially when I know you do the very unique Fonzi style, but it does kind of it's so quick that it's hard to maintain that bass sound without proper pedaling, because it's so quick on the left hand. Therefore, the bass just kind of meshes with other chords sometimes. So, other than that, can you try to play it again?
I sit next to you so I can have a nice look at your finger movements. Maybe you can prove that.
It kind of gets a little bit muddy. I think if you can fix that by holding the left hand just a little bit longer, and which would allow you to kind of lift the pedal up just a little bit longer to kind of refresh the sound. Yeah. Yeah, if the bass was, you held out the bass like a little bit longer, like that, just a little bit longer so that you can refresh it.
You can demonstrate it.
Yeah. You can try it. How does it go? That's really, you really put some big jumps on it. See, I tend to actually solve that. I tend to kind of include some of the some of the parts without pedal, a little bit drier, because if you just go. It's slight. It gets a little bit messy. Yeah. But if you try, then you can have that breathing space where it doesn't the chords doesn't have to clash and mesh together. It gives that separation and kind of structure.
Yeah.
You lose the structure if you use too much pedal. Using less pedal would allow you to kind of clearly enunciate the bass notes and other parts of the song.
Okay.
So that I think
That's it, really.
Do you agree?
Yes. Sometimes, as I said earlier, this is more, especially with this piece, there's so many bass movements. You're using the in between harmonic notes, the D, do, right? And they need to be as clear as possible because the normal average listener, we tend to always listen to the higher regions. What's happening in the bass, we usually don't pay attention, but unless it's really muddy, then we say, this doesn't feel right. But if it's very crystal clear,
Crisp.
oh, so nice.
Yeah.
Because we actually know what's happening in music. Structure the arrangement so it's 100% transparent and clear what is happening here. Leave nothing too much muddy in the pedal, and yeah, that's it actually. A little bit more pedal control, maybe less, as he just demonstrated. It sounds much better because it's da 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 dum ba dum da dum da 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 dum da da dum da da. Just leave the so-called airtime, a little bit airtime.
Yeah.
Don't need to press the pedal the whole time and then just make a stutter step. Just maybe press it a little bit and then here like this. Yeah. A little bit airtime.
Less pedal would allow the bass notes to kind of be more crisp
And transparent. And
and
transparency.
enunciated. So
Yes.
that's.
But
nice.
this is really high tier nitpicking, so everything else is really good.
We're really doing the magnifying glass and looking for what's wrong.
Yes.
It's very helpful.
Yeah,
Okay.
most of it is pretty great. So
So
congrats.
very good.
Huge thanks to Animenz and Theishter for letting me post this onto my channel. If you haven't already, go check them out. Their links are in the description. Let me know whether you learned something new or were entertained from the video. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe for more anime piano content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.